Hi, everyone. And here, pronouns they, them, head of community at Livepeer. And welcome to Livepeer Fireside, our weekly high signal experience to understand what's going on in the ecosystem. Super excited to have everyone here today, and we have a pretty exciting lineup of three folks. So let's get into it. First, if you're not on our Discord, you need to be there. We also have a Telegram you can join, but this will send you right to our Discord, which is our home base and where most of Livepeer's development happens. So definitely scan the QR code, jump in, say hi. We're all in there and excited to have you participate in the network. So please jump in there. And on our Twitter, we have the link at the top of our profile. Secondly, Daydream is live. This is our live video AI experience. Scan the QR code, or you can go to daydream.live and check out what we're building there. Some super exciting updates coming to Daydream quite soon. We also have a real time video AI or live video AI community. If you're interested in live video AI, you can join that. And that is linked through our Daydream website. So, yeah, all run on Livepeer's network, of course. First up, we'll have Aniche from GWIT SPE. Super excited to talk to him about gateways, and what innovations they're doing over there. Next up, we'll have a spotlight from Livepeer Foundation with Rich. Some exciting updates from this week. So, really excited to hear those. And finally, we'll end with origin stories. That is Sean, and he'll be talking about the proposal that's live currently, and give some more insights on the value he is creating in the network. All right, Aniche, come on up. Super excited to have you here today. How you doing?
I am. I'm fine. How are you doing? How's your day going?
I'm doing good. I'm a little bit sorry if I'm like muting and coughing. Apologies. I have like a little sore throat this morning, so as you can see there. But I'm otherwise doing really good. A lot of exciting stuff happening at Livepeer. A lot of exciting developments. So super happy to have you here today, to get into all the amazing developments you've been doing with GWID.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's nice to be here and to share more insight into what we'll be building on the Gateway Wizard. And yeah,
Awesome. Okay, so first, tell the people what is GWID and why does it matter for our ecosystem?
okay. Good day, everyone. Everyone in the audience. NHA. Uh, I'm a member of the Gateway Wizard SP and also an lead on it. So for those who are not aware, the GWID it's a short for the Gateway Wizard. Okay, the Gateway Wizard is meant to be a fully managed DevOps platform to run, launch, monetize your gateway, and to manage it seamlessly. Just to give more, just to share more information on the gateway, I would consider it the third participant in the whole life pair ecosystem. It's a software that does the payment processing and distribution of jobs on the network. So I would call it the demand source of the network. So what GWID is or GWID is we're building is to create a platform, a DevOps platform specifically that allows anyone, it could be a developer, a small team, it could be even a non-technical team like a content creator or a live streamer to launch their own gateway, have it fully managed seamlessly without having to have any technical depth at all or technical skill. And why say it matters in the ecosystem right now is currently LifePair network we kind of relies on a few centralized gateway. I think there are about three or two about it are more much used that bring majority of the demand, and this can cause a huge barrier for this can cause a lot of limitation like diversity, um, limited number of gateway will also mean limited number of experimentation and also scalability once demand starts going high. So what way this building is to create this platform where anyone could have their own gateway without having any technical skills or DevOps skills to run and manage it. So you don't have to touch a terminal, you just have to have a good internet, have a browser, and you could have your own live peg gateway and its infrastructure running seamlessly for you. So that's what we've all been building for the past months.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, you answered my next question. I was going to ask what pain points does it solve, but I think you made it quite clear, around kind of the centralization of
Yeah,
gateways, as well as the kind of technical complexities. I can definitely affirm, as someone who's semi-technical, getting a gateway set up yourself is quite
yeah,
challenging. Uh,
yeah.
So I, it's definitely helpful to have this kind of like uh, pathway where you can be less technical or still technical, but not have to,
Yeah, I
develop.
remember the last workshop you had where you tried to set up gateway. How complex it could be. Just imagine all that commands are abstracted into a web UI. You don't. I mean, it's much more easier than having to open a terminal.
100%. Um, so GWID is aiming to make Livepeer more gateway agnostic. Can you break down what that means and why it's important?
Okay. Gateway agnostic. I would say means a network, life pair network, whereby there is not just one provider, just not one provider or infrastructure parts. In practice it would mean we having a lot of gateway on the platform. I We envision life by getting to a point where every project or every app being built on the network we utilize their own gateway instead of having to depend on say Studios gateway or Inks gateway, I mean, or any other centralized gateway. They just come on with I want to start my video app, I get a gateway, or my AI app, I get a gateway and just use and have my own infrastructure and you know make it more censorship resistance and all that. So that's what we mean by gateway agnostic.
Okay, gotcha. And how do people turn their gateway into a revenue generating service or product using GWID? So what, because um, I think people more easily understand what orchestrators are, but I think
Yeah.
gateways are a bit more mysterious. So could you go into a little bit of how they're working and how they're valuable to run or for the person running it?
Okay. Like I like to say, gateways. It's I'll call it another participants in the network. We have the orchestrator, we have the gateways, also we have the delegators. I believe gateway distributes the demands across the orchestrator, and we just didn't want to build all this tooling and just for hobbyists to just deploy their own gateway, test it out, and so we were thinking, how can we convert this gateway straight into a product without for anyone? Because I actually believe there are some stakeholders in the network that they can go out and source demands for themselves. They
Mm,
can reach out to small apps owner and say, oh, I have this API key that can give you
right.
cheap access to AI inferencing. Why not just use my service?
Mm,
And they have a customer. So I believe there are some stakeholder here in the network that can actually do that. So what Grid does is to empower this, is to give them all the tools they can to actually convert their gateway into a product. So every every grid powered gateway will come with a service, a self-service portal. This portal will come with several tools like method and paywalls for accepting payments. A
mm,
user, a customer, like an app owner could come, buy credit and create generate an API key, buy credit, top it up with some credits, and just use their API key from this gateway operator in their app. So we are not actually building this platform to just be a tooling set, but we're
mm,
also building it to allow you go from deployment to a product, to an API product that you could offer for
wow.
service. I mean, you could share these APIs on. There are a lot of websites. Like as a developer myself, I want to start building an app. I need an API, of course, a cheap one. I could go on platform like Rapid AI,
Mm,
API here. I mean, if we can have these endpoints on all these platforms,
right.
especially when these gateway operators have enough motivation to want to, deploy
Mm,
these API keys, these APIs on this server platform. I mean, we can source the demands ourselves. We don't have to depend
right.
on one initiative.
So it sounds like we can almost with GWID we can start to have a ecosystem experience where folks who are kind of self starters can do their
Yeah.
own BD and can try to drive value to the network through their own initiative. And I think like in terms of the decentralization, that decentralized BD is actually a really big win, right? To have
Yes.
an ecosystem where like an open market where people can say, hey, I really see an opportunity here, let me just self start and go do it, not wait for ink, um, or an SP or a foundation, like let me just go and do it myself. So I think that actually really is changing potentially how the network can work, which is cool.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. So let's say someone who has no DevOps background, like myself, how easy would it be for me if I saw that, the lucrative opportunity? How easy would it be for me to just say, you know what, I'm gonna spin up my own gateway and then
Mhm.
start, shilling that API key to get people using it?
Okay. Okay. Just to start off simple, if you are a developer or if you've had the opportunity to use like platforms like Vercel or Netlify, you can definitely use GWADE. You can definitely use it. It's We are building it with that developer experience in mind, where
Mm-hmm.
you come into a website and you just with a click of a button, you could have a gateway with a basic infra setup on your own cloud account, or if you want to just test it out, you could deploy on our own with cloud. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
deploy. You don't have to go get a virtual machine or get an AWS account to start using it. You could just deploy on our own cloud and you could test it out, have a feel of it. It's quite very easy. If you use we're building it with that in mind. So if any developer or any person at all that have like experience with using platforms like Basel should be able to use Grid. It's just button click here, button click here, button click here, button click here.
Right.
Nothing complex at all.
Okay. Awesome. So you have some optional integrations like CDNs, load balancers, media servers. Yeah, tell us how those play in and what it enables for people in the experience.
Okay, the gateway by itself doesn't do much. It's just a software that helps, negotiate price between the a user and the orchestrator and just help distribute payments. So
Right.
by itself, it's very limited. So what we want is not you just have a simple gateway that just helps you pay. You could also side load other application. If
Mm,
you are building a AI app, for example, and you get to a point where you have a lot of requests coming to your gateway, you could have our load balancer side loaded and help you distribute this pressure. If you are a streamer, for example, and you want to use the Livepeer network to support transcoding, especially if you are an own cast, kind of self-hosted streamer, you could actually side load own cast on your infra with Grid and use with your gateway. So we want to provide this other extra plugin that you could seamlessly side load with your gateway and have a complete pipeline for whatever use case you imagine.
okay.
So of
Very
course we'll
interesting.
be starting small with simple integrations like proxy servers, media servers. We've been speaking with some people in the community on how possible this is. So yeah, this
Okay.
is just about experimenting and seeing what works, and definitely we'll get something. So
Okay.
that's yeah.
Awesome. And also another feature you guys have is the pricing dashboard and optional data
Yeah.
sharing. Uh, Tell me why you decided to kind of go in that direction and what you think it will help in terms of uh, continuing to grow LivePeer's network.
Okay. Yeah. Compared to the transcoding pipeline in the LivePay ecosystem, AI pipelines or the AI network we've built so far is still kind of it's on its early stage in its early stage. So
Right.
we still have a lot of discrepancy or not what should I put it? There's no granularity in the pricing. I mean,
Ah.
for this to actually work, we need a lot of gateways to, you know, try out a lot of pricing experimentation. And why
Mm,
any grid powered gateway is doing this, they could anonymously share this pricing data, and we say we can see a way to accumulate this pricing data on a dashboard that is public for everyone to see. So this would inform new gateway operator on what the price and trends for which model is, and it's bring much. We
ah,
are feeding data back to the ecosystem to, you know, allow to better understand how to price their services and make
okay.
it much more synchronized among everyone. Yeah.
And for audience clarity, is it the gateways that are setting the price?
Yeah, for now, yeah, gateway sets their own price, but when they set it, they can share it. So
Okay, yeah. So I think that having these additional gateways will definitely help for price exploration as well on um, the job side, and seeing kind of what, because I feel like it depends on the orchestrator. Maybe some people are okay with a little bit lower price. Some people just want it to be more premium. Maybe they don't have as much they don't have as much computational power, so they're in like a
yeah,
different set. And I think that that diversity could explore different segments in orchestration, which could be interesting. Um,
yeah,
Go ahead, sorry.
yeah, totally agree. Like I said before, with this would definitely bring a lot of experimentation, and this would
Right.
bring lots of diversity in prices. So
Mm,
it's this having this dashboard is for everyone to see what's the price and trends are. So that's just the whole idea.
awesome. So, I know you put a proposal on for phase one.
Yeah.
Tell us, how far in phase one are you? You almost, toward and nearing completion, just getting started. And then what does the future for you guys look like at the GWIT SP?
Okay. Yeah. We put up a proposal for phase one, and I'm so thankful to the community for voting in support of the proposal. Yeah, we got we got started last month, although we did start last year from
Right.
an ecosystem grant we got from the Livepeer and grants team, and this helped us, come up with our proof of concept to be able to use to showcase to the whole community to get the phase one going. So the first one is just we building out the platform, building out this whole architecture for seamless gateway deployments and infrastructure.
Mm,
Then success, we hope success with this phase one would be having a lot of gateways and a lot of projects onboarded
right.
into the network. And for phase two, we want to Phase two is just reaching out to getting as much project into the network, because I mean we have this amazing platform for deploying infrastructure. We can't just leave it to collect docs. So we have to go out there, get projects, offer them credits and free
Mm,
credit to use the network, offer support, offer technical support, and
right.
uh, just help them, test the water in the gateway business and see how. But it's just majorly going out there and bringing a lot of projects into the Livepeer network to
Mm,
have their own gateway. And I can't wait to see what kind of use cases would emerge when we have this so many gateways, in the
right.
network. Yeah.
Awesome. And where can people find you? On
Yeah.
either on Twitter or if you want to share your Discord handle, whichever you prefer.
Yeah, I'm pretty much online on Discord almost every time. You could just tag my name and then share and ask any question. I'll try to answer as best as I can. My Twitter is not so it's not been so active for a while, but I'll share my LinkedIn on the chats, and you could reach out to me. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
yeah,
Anache.
thank you
And
for having me, Anne. It's
yeah,
nice.
of course. And it was great to hear about GWID, and I applaud you for taking on this initiative. It's been a long time. As I know, I was the one part of the grant committee who gave you the initial grant. So
Yeah, thank you for
how
that.
far you've grown, it's really great to see.
Yeah, thank
Anyway,
you, Anne, for
of
having
course.
me. Yeah, it was an amazing uh session with you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Um, well, round of applause for Anache, and just really excited to see the progress on the gateway end. Through network, it's been less focused on, so now we're really getting a renewed focus through the GWIT SPE. And if you're interested in anything gateways, here's the opportunity to jump in, get involved. But next we have Livepeer Foundation. Welcome up, Rich. Woo! Hi.
Hello. Quick mic check. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Welcome
Awesome.
up. I will drop down and I will give the floor to you.
Fantastic. You can keep me honest with the timer. Great. So, hi everyone. My name is Rich, and I am one of the leads at the Livepeer Foundation. For those of you who don't know, the Livepeer Foundation was established very recently. Actually, we went live about a month ago, and we really established it as a vehicle for ecosystem participation. How do we get more community members, ecosystem participants involved in the strategy setting process, in execution, and how we allocate capital? The mission of the Livepeer Foundation is, next slide, to steward Livepeer's vision, ecosystem growth, and core development. And we have those three pillars as being three different areas that we're really focusing on over the coming months. Next slide. As we announced about, I think 2 or 3, or longer than that, 6 weeks ago, and as we launched 2 weeks ago, we launched advisory boards, and these are a really key part of the project life cycle for Livepeer. We're thinking this is, how does Livepeer as a project operate? What is the operating system? And these advisory boards play a really key role in observing where the Livepeer project is at now, and coming up with recommendations for the community as a whole to ensure that the right things are being focused on and prioritized strategically within the Livepeer project. And these advisory boards are small domain-specific groups consisting of Livepeer core contributors representing different parts of the Livepeer ecosystem. The foundation's role in this is really to facilitate this advisory board lifecycle, which goes over a 6-month period, and the foundation itself will also synthesize and publish a coherent roadmap, what we're calling a strategy hub, which really streamlines how anyone in the ecosystem can contribute outside value to the project as a whole. Next slide. And we're seeing that the advisor, or we've come up with a clear process for the advisory boards to go through to really inform this project strategy. And we've had a huge amount of community input from the community survey, come on to in a minute. And we see this double diamond process where each one of these advisory boards across 4 different areas. So we have growth, we have network, we have governance, and we have capital markets. And they're a combination of core contributors, and also we have a couple of adjacent ecosystem experts as well from AI and the Web3 and video spaces. And they're all trying to come up to sense make of what we should be focusing on over this 6-week period. Next slide. Oh, there was meant to be another one in between, and it was basically saying that we're on this first part of the double diamond, where we're thinking long-term strategically. I would say a quick thank you to everyone who participated in the community survey. These have been immensely useful, the 45 responses that we got. All of that input was both looked at, obviously, by the core team at the foundation, the advisory board chairs, and also fed into an LLM. And we were able to really categorize feedback based off of different advisory boards. And all of this input has been put into this strategic guidance document that we created for all of the advisory boards before they sit, which go in to basically a high level state of Livepeer as it is now. And that community sentiment has been awesome, both from a qualitative perspective and a quantitative perspective. And there's also been an overview of different SPEs put in that document and ecosystem data, which we are constantly, or as one of the priorities for the foundation is to really improve data availability access across the ecosystem as a whole. Next slide. So we kicked off the advisory boards last week, where all advisory board members were asked to identify 3 challenges, risks, and opportunities. Everyone has completed that from the advisory board members side, so thank you very much for doing that. And this week, what we're doing is we're actually working collectively in the advisory boards to have to first of all prioritize these challenge, risks, and opportunities, and then to form these 1 to 2 year objectives that each advisory board can have. And we had the first one, governance advisory board, yesterday, and it was an awesome session. A big shout out to everyone who participates. And we had, I believe, the markets one earlier today, and we have the growth and network advisory board sitting tomorrow. Next slide. Final one. And yeah, next week, the advisory board chairs will publish the first results of this process. And it's really what we're trying to do on the foundation is really keep everyone up to speed of how this process is going. Obviously, also acknowledging that there needs to be a lot of internal communication as well. So super exciting start to the process. Just wanted to give a quick update to everyone. And please do reach out to myself, Joe, Ben, and Rick, and Ben, who is leading the process, if you have any more questions. Awesome. I hope that was about 5 minutes.
Yes, you did perfect. Yeah, no, I'm super excited. As folks know, I'm on the governance advisory board, and it was really great. Shout out to Ben and Rich for kind of facilitating that. And yeah, I'm excited to see kind of the synthesis next week. And yeah, it's gonna be great. Thanks, Rich.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
All right. So last but not least, we have Origin Stories, Sean, who will be sharing some highlights from the value they're generating in the community. And I think they might have just dropped out. He might have just dropped out of the call. So give him a second to come back. Awesome. Well, welcome up, Sean. How's it going today?
Hey, how's it going? I'm okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit quiet.
Let's see if this is better. Is this better?
So quiet. It's okay though. I'll just.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I'll project. How about that?
Perfect.
I found some vintage Livepeer.
Ooh.
I'm wearing like one of the old school shirts. Yeah. So I don't know if you have the video.
We do.
Yeah, I don't have to press play yet. But basically, also sharing. You can go to the first slide. Yeah, just sharing a bit about the new text-to-speech model that the AI SPE has put into the PR to be merged, and just talking a little bit about the capabilities that we're also helping to bring on and how these kind of new models can be used not just by us, but other projects. So yeah, so you can see Everest Node has PR open for this, and you can press play. So what's really interesting about this model is that it's not just about, did you press play? Oh yeah. So it's not just about being able to like write text and then have a video out. You can actually do voice cloning. Is the video moving or no?
No, give Carlotta a second to get it playing.
Oh, no worries. Sorry. No, you're right. I was just the next is basically showing an example of how the cloning will work. So I was just like making sure it was on there.
Yeah, just give her 1 second, and then we'll get the video playing.
Yeah, no worries.
Now let's make my mum's favourite.
Yeah, perfect.
2 Mars bars into the pan. Then we add the tuna and just stir for a bit. Just let the chocolate and fish infuse. A sprinkle of olive oil and some tomato ketchup. Now smell that.
So as you can see, basically what's happening is you're putting in the text to the text at the first, and then there are voices that you can have, like a character library, but then you can also upload an audio file. So this opens up a lot of new possibilities. Two that we're working on is the AI scene partner reader. So this is about self-tape auditions, interview prep, and then also last week, Almer talked about how this can be used for 24/7 live music streams with hosts and DJs. So those are two use cases that we're focused on, but what it also opens is, yeah, for corporate training, also for podcasts, and NPC gaming. So here you can see one of the reasons why we pulled out this audition reader to start is because there's a really large volume of self-tape auditions every day. It's a natural fit for a proof of concept of evolution where we can add video on top of the stack, and it's used for a large amount of time. So here's just like a really quick demo through, yeah, you can keep playing, it's okay. So that's just like a really quick demo through of how the text will work. It doesn't have the voice behind it. But then once you have that layer, you can also add the video player on top of it. So again, this is just like one of the examples inside of this AI hub that we're working on. So you can see a couple of different ideas here, like scene customization. This is an example of the quiz that's personalized that we did for a festival last year out of the, like we did about 22 different use cases. So the idea is that people would be able to input in natural language the concepts they want, and then be able to output this consistency across style. So this is another project where we're using scene customization, and then you can see how that turns into video. So these are a bunch of like kind of our internal workflows that we're also adding, because as Aniche was saying with the gateway, you know, it allowed you onto the network, but there still needs to be like a reason to want to use and choose Livepeer first. So these are just a couple examples. There's like the pull-it avatars that are one shot, another model that we want to bring on. And by recommending at the state of the art level, it not only is allowing us to use them in our projects. So an example, we are building a development out with Immersive, which is from the head of development from Melody VR. They actually acquired Napster, and also the long form and short form video content team from Universal Music. And so the project we're working on right now is about 200,000 pre-sale. It's estimating about 8 million tickets over the course of like this run that will happen. I think it starts in the beginning of 2026, but of course in the fall will be used. And so there's like 3 AI experiences inside of that content journey that we're building out. And essentially, imagine you take 3 interactions per person, that starts to scale quite quickly. And not only that, but then we can also showcase these opportunities and how this network can be built for people. So when they come in, they get great examples of how it can be used, and they have templates and not just kind of like a sea of models to string together. So yeah, I just wanted to share a bit about that. The text to speech is in PR. I know that we will try to look at adding our own orchestrator to text it. So I'll come back to you and to the community on that as well. And then we'll post also some links in our core contributor chat. But yeah, just a quick update today.
Awesome. One question for me, I know this is something that came up a lot in the water cooler, is in terms of fee generation on the network, what is your projection there? And you know, how are you going to get the first set of customers to generate those fees on network?
Yeah, great. So as you have you been following along, we've been working specifically with key partners across different industry verticals. So that was the first 6 months. That's why we weren't developing. It was really understanding problem opportunity, who also had any kind of like, let's say, ins into existing communities. And so that's why we started with the reader, because this is something that we already know is being used by one of the people we brought in, who actually is now cast in like a really big Hollywood film and has an extended community. So we're already able to leverage kind of our existing network to get people using a tool that we know that they want. I imagine the reason why we kept it low is because it's also summer. So we're testing it like summer schools and other programs, but everything won't be in session. So if we take just, let's say, the AI reader without video and transcoding on top of it, we priced against fall, which is about maybe 44 cents every 10 minutes. So we're imagining we'll probably bring maybe 2.5 to 3 ETH in this like beginning part. But once that is tested, it can scale very easily and it's sustainable, because despite what a lot of people think about AI, the jobs that are being marked safe or being called as marked safe are the ones that require both manual and cognitive skills, and acting and the like high level performing arts are like athletes in that regard. And so these tools that are really optimizing for problems they have will be sustainable. When we look at the music opportunities here as well, which is showcasing inside of the AI hub, this really depends on the models that we're able to bring onto the network. So we're looking at like Bria Product Shot and Flux pull it, because if we can put that into, again, the big projects that we're doing that have 200,000 pre-sale tickets on it, that's, let's say, a minute a person using it, because there's 3 experiences, and so that's another 200,000 minutes. So as we get pricing much clearer on the, like, as even with Aniche was saying, like where it's actually is coming from, we'll be able to resolve that. But I think realistically, this first time, it won't be maybe more than 5 to 7 ETH, but what we will be showing and showcasing is a pathway to much more than that. So I would say at least 20 to 30, plus there are major players across other organizations that see what Livepeer can do. And it becomes not just about the AI stack, but also like, what else does Livepeer have to offer, and how can that be implemented into
Awesome.
their workflows?
Well, thank you, Sean. It was great having you. And of course, Sean's proposal is live on the Explorer. So feel free to take a read over that, watch back here, and yeah, make your decision. So wrapping up, thank you everyone for joining this week's Fireside. I've been really enjoying these. I think that they're a really helpful way to showcase the community. And again, here's the QR code. So scan that to jump to our Discord. Everyone who's been here today, of course, is in our server. And also there's a Telegram server as well that's run by the community. So jump into either one, whichever your preference is. But our Discord is kind of the home base where all the development is happening. And most people are active in there. So yeah, I feel like we're doing a really good job. We're continuing to grow the ecosystem, and it's exciting to see everyone pushing on so many different verticals. And of course, with Foundation going live, getting some more strategic guidance there and recommendations to continue pushing forward and being more organized as an ecosystem. So thank you all for joining today's Fireside, and we will see you next week. Bye, y'all.